The government of Guyana takes Exxon, the oil giant, to court. What does this mean for the relationship between Exxon and the Guyanese government? Will this affect the new fortune of the oil-rich Caribbean island? Let's talk about it.
The South American nation of Guyana is taking ExxonMobil Corporation to court. Guyana's tax agency has issued a summons to the US-based oil giant. This comes after one of the company's suppliers claimed it mistakenly inflated the value of oil well equipment by 200 times. According to the Guyana Revenue Authority, the charges stem from a declaration made in November last year. Rams Logistics, a Trinidad-based company, made the declaration on behalf of Exxon. The firm acted as the broker for Exxon's imported oil well equipment, and while the equipment was valued at $4.4 million, Rams declared to customs that it was valued at over $12 billion. Now, Exxon and Rams say the overvaluation occurred due to a clerical error, which denoted the sum in US dollars instead of Guyanese dollars. A Guyanese dollar is worth about 1/2 of a US cent. So why is this inflated declaration such a big deal for Guyana? Because it would have had a significant impact on its oil profits. Under the country's production sharing contract with Exxon, the government only receives its share after costs are deducted. The deal currently allows Exxon to deduct 75% of the revenues earned towards cost recovery or repaying the investments by the company. The remaining 25% is then shared with Guyana as profit. This means the South American nation receives 12.5% of profit along with 2% royalty. Exxon's country manager in Guyana said that the error was caught early and nobody suffered any losses. He added that the oil giant has updated its procedures to make sure this mistake won't be repeated. Meanwhile, Rams has called the error unfortunate, saying there were some issues with its system which would be resolved. This isn't the first time that Rams Logistics has been involved in a case of false declaration. Back in 2022, Guyana instituted 10 charges in a court for false declarations made by the company. In April 2023, Rams stated that it had been cleared of all charges brought by Guyana's tax agency. Now, Guyanese Vice President Bharat Jagdeo says that the country's tax agency will check all the invoices for the past several years. This is to check whether there were other overstatements in the past. Exxon has agreed to comply with the audit. Guyana has become one of the fastest growing oil producing countries. It reportedly produces around 650,000 barrels of oil every day, up from zero just 5 years ago. Last year, it unveiled a new production sharing model to increase its share of oil wealth and attract new producers. In January, Guyana said it expects to receive some.
So roughly 2 years ago, there was some exciting news coming out of Guyana that the government of Guyana actually found oil in the country. And following that news, we heard that they signed an agreement with Exxon, the multi-billion-dollar American oil company, to be the company that would come and help the government of Guyana to mine the oil. I remember hearing that news. I was having conversation with a couple of friends from the Caribbean, and we were talking about how unfortunate it is that with Africa and the Caribbean is that we do not have the expertise to mine our own natural resources, and then we have foreign companies coming in and taking advantage of us. So when I heard this news this week, it wasn't a complete surprise, but audacity for them to try and inflate the setup costs times 200. 200. That is crazy. Like, not even by 20 or 30, but by 200. And, you know, I know, like, this figure, like, is such a ridiculous figure that it's going to be easy for someone to say, you know, the number is like too big, this must have been a mistake. But, you know, history will tell us, like in the Caribbean, from all over the Caribbean, from Jamaica to Trinidad to Grenada, like we can talk about sugarcane. We can talk about bauxite. We can talk about banana, where foreign investors or companies that are linked to our colonial masters that came into the Caribbean and took our raw material and give us like penny on the dollars. So, I know the number is seem ridiculous, and that it's easy just to say, okay, it's a mistake, but I don't know. And I believe that the Guyanese government would not be suing if they thought this was a mistake. So just let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think like how does the government of Guyana move forward with a working relationship with Exxon, knowing that this happened? And yeah, just sound off in the comment section. Do you think that this was a mistake, like an error, a glitch in some computer? Or do you think that, well, really, this is just what they normally do in the Caribbean, and they were just trying to do, because, try to pull a fast one again? Just sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think. I must say, with all these millions of dollars or billions of dollars that are going to be coming out because of this oil, it would be so sad if Guyana becomes like one of the other nations, like particularly in Africa, that billions of dollars came out of those countries and the country did not benefit from it. The everyday people that live there do not benefit from it. That would be really, sad and unfortunate, that if that should happen to Guyana. Like, I believe, my hope, and I know Caribbean nationals across the Caribbean would hope that, that Guyana could be that Singapore type nation in the Caribbean, that 10 years from now you go to Guyana and you see the massive development and the economy is doing so well that it can spill over into the other Caribbean islands, and people from the wider Caribbean can benefit from it. So it would be unfortunate if that doesn't happen, but I'm happy that the government stepped up. I'm happy that they found this mistake before it was too long, if it was a mistake, and that they're actually taking them to court, and that Exxon said that they're working with them to resolve it, because this would be like a travesty, like if the people of Guyana should lose so much money from just a bad investment deal, or being scammed out of their natural resources. Yeah, so I would love to hear from my Caribbean nationals. Do you think that this was really an error, as stated in the news report? Or do you think that really they were just trying to pull a fast one and hoping that the government of Guyana would not pick it up until it's too late? And do you think that, some government official or some local authority in Guyana got paid off to let this go through, and that the government would not find out about it? Just, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think, yeah, it was a fast one, or it really was just a honest mistake? Yes, so just sound off and let me know. And as I said again, kudos to the government for catching this before it's too late. And for me now, going forward, because obviously the government think that this was not a mistake if they're taking them to court. And how does that relationship work now? How do you work as a government with a company that tried to rip you off like that? What's the oversight going to be like? Are they going to be monitoring, like, is there going to be like a government personnel monitoring like every bit of oil that's coming out? Because if they can do this, then they could say like, okay, there's 100 barrels coming out per day when it's actually 200. So is there going to be some more further oversight? And is this going to affect, the growth of Guyana? Because I am one person that was really excited for the growth of Guyana, because I believe that if one country in the Caribbean does something amazing, I believe that it will impact the entire Caribbean in some ways. So I was really excited for that to happen, and I hope this does not like make the working relationship between Exxon and the government difficult, and that they can still work together with some type of a trust. So I don't know, but this is crazy. So just as again I said, sound off, let me know in the comment section what you think about this story, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe and help this channel to grow, so I can bring you more content from the beautiful, amazing Caribbean.